Not the winter home, the Tesla City, sorry. The Tesla City, because of that bad decision he made, it caused a lot of people to die. So the coils were used to keep the snow out. But do you think electricity can stop snow?
Huh. Don't really think so.
I don't think it
Unless
can.
you can somehow heat the snow in the area and then just make it into rain. But still.
It's still kind of impossible to stop the snow from actually doing what it wants to do within the city itself. So my dude's idea about building some electricity coils was actually a very stupid and horrible one. And you and I both know what happened to Tesla after that. Yeah.
Unless he was expecting something to happen.
I think he was expecting his idea to be a success.
That's the issue. Like, yes, his idea failed, but what was he actually fearing?
I don't think.
Storm, or
I think.
Why would he do it?
I think his idea.
Just protecting from snow.
Yeah. You're on the right path. I think it was more than just the snow itself, though. Because the way how I see it, he wanted to maintain the monopoly over his super city that he had constructed. The one that was completely made from all the materials he got from the United States with the steam cores and everything else. So that's where I think my guy got his idea that I can actually use the steam cores and everything from my city to actually create this utopia where people can work. But the people working in the city were machines. You get that? He didn't see people as people. That was his problem. He just saw them as assets. And that led to him.
Like me. I'm great captain.
Yeah, right. You gave yourself away a while ago. You totally gave yourself
Just
away.
don't tell this to my people.
I don't think they're gonna know about this. They're probably dead already. Yeah, I think that guy wasn't thinking about what his choices were and who he would be affecting by making those decisions. And so when the city collapsed, my dude decided that he wanted to leave, and he managed to leave, and he tried to save some of the people, but then the people turned against him and he died.
Yeah.
So he
got
lucky.
killed.
Yeah, he got killed. He got lucky. Everybody else had to die except him. In terms, when I said die except him, I mean feel the full effects of freezing. Because there were people that tried to set up camps and do expeditions to find somewhere else to live, and the expedition teams never came back. You remember that? And then there was this little group of people that were on the verge of death. And then 11-Bit Studios is like, I'm gonna make you fuck yourself up so bad. You can either take their resources or take them back.
Oh yeah.
I always take.
Would you like to rob them? just like some scouts come in, like 5 people against how many of them were people? Like 40?
40
it's like, we're here to rob. Like, they're supposed to just win. If you saw 5 scouts just coming to you with no weapon and against 40 people, like, are you joking? They should have please put up some kind of fight.
I don't think they had the energy to. I think it was just women and children.
It was just women and children.
Yeah.
Well, still gonna put out some kind of fight.
It may be. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know why they never thought about putting up a fight or trying to protect themselves from these unknown individuals. Or maybe they thought the men in the snow-covered winter clothing were gods. The crazy things that might have been happening to those people, they might have been hallucinating after a while. Because there's this thing called mountain fever. Mountain fever, I'm gonna look that up.
Mountain fever.
Or something, some mountain fever, and something else about. You've never heard of that, right? Mountain fever, no. Or there's this thing where, or climbing fever. Let me check it out. I'm trying to find it. But there's this thing that when you're climbing a mountain or when you're at a high altitude, you get this zeal, right? And you actually don't feel like you're climbing anymore. And because of that, you lose all sense of where you are. So let's say, for example, I am climbing Mount Everest, right? And I reach the highest peak, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. But then as soon as I start climbing and or going back down, I start to feel sick. But on the way up, you see where I'm going now. So I'm thinking that when the scouts came to them, they were lying down ready for death. It's like you're in between being alive and dead. And so when you're in that position, you don't know what's real from what's not real. So the scouts could basically just pick them up, throw them on the ground or on the ice itself, take the resources and leave, and these individuals would not have known what the hell happened to them.
Yeah.
That's very scary. The fact that you are so far beyond living that you lose your sense of reality. And that happens to a lot of people when they're climbing. So a lot of people go missing in the forest and other areas because they lose their sense of direction or their will to survive. And so that's where those people are at. So it's crazy how the 11-Bit Studios team is able to tell these mini stories, and they have such dramatic effects on us. But you don't see it. If, let's say, for example, I'm just the average player, I will just save them, but I won't read it. Did you read it the first time?
Was I reading for the first time? I mostly like started watching a bit of YouTube, like seeing what is this game about. I'm like, oh, that's great. I would like to play it.
I mean, like,
but yeah, sometimes when I actually play, just like survival, concept survival, it's like I kind of already know the story. Just like quickly skip it until read again and again. I'm probably like first time, can't remember. Maybe I read some stories like imports like Winter Home when you arrive. But then.
Go on.
Maybe I think my answer would be no. I haven't actually probably read the story. Though maybe it's when people actually started talking about it and then more look into it. Then maybe like a third time, maybe I actually started paying more attention to what was going on.
I see. So it's after the third time of playing through the game, you actually decided to take a look at the story itself. So,
yeah, like more into the lore, like what exactly is going on, because there was only like New Home and how many scenarios was it? 2 to begin with? Or 3?
There were 3 of them. So
3 to begin with.
A lot of the YouTubers, when they're streaming, they'll actually like show you the content so you can read it. But when I just started playing the game, because as soon as 11-Bit Studios released it, I was one of the first guys. Well, probably I wasn't the first guys, but I was in the first group of people like snatch that up right as it comes out, because I'm like, this is gonna be one amazing adventure. But I never really read all the stuff about. I would just click on stuff and then click past it. And it was only until I started reading the lore that I realized that nobody was really talking or looking into this game's story. And so what I did is I actually started to make videos. So you will see a lot could actually stop the deep freeze from occurring. And it was later on in that position that I said, you know what? Let me try and explore things a little further. I never really found anything of interest until I started researching, steam cores and Nansen and the deep freeze. But then nobody was talking about it. So like the lore is everywhere. Have you checked the Frostpunk wiki? Did you look at it the first time?
I think I mostly just look for like the stats of the buildings, but
Probably.
law into the Frostpunk wiki.
So I checked the wiki out.
I haven't looked at it.
There's nothing there. There was nothing there at all. And so, I didn't really... Wait, how did I get there? Yo! Sorry about that. Hello? You still there, man? Die off. So I just wanted to know, what you guys think about it and stuff. But what time is it where you are?
Right now it's 8.
8? It's 8 right now?